What's going on, everyone? It's Mike back again, and we're back. We've got James Sweet and Sour Sock at the back on the channel. It's been my fault. It's been nothing to do with the lads. By the way, how well are they smashing it? How well are they smashing it? When I spoke to them at start, they had 100 subs, 50 subs, and now they're on like 2.2 thousand, whatever. They're getting 10,000 views on random videos about all sorts of shit. They're smashing it. And of course, they've got their watch along the weekend. Make sure you go out and check it out. It's Everton v Wolves, Sunday, 2:00. I know James goes live a little bit earlier than that, so make sure you go over and watch it. It's all set up. Go and set the reminder now and go and subscribe to the channel. James, we're like brothers from another mother. So, I feel like we're starting to even look similar. With the hair's kind of merging. You're slightly less attractive than me, but we're getting there.
I agree.
Wolves' perspective, Goodison Park. It's a massive game for Everton. What's your thoughts?
If you're judging it on paper, that I don't see Everton shouldn't have a chance in hell. I'm sure every Everton fan knows this stat already. I know you do. That Wolves have the 4th best away record in the league. Your home record, well, same as your away record. It's not great. Slightly better, I think, at home. Under Lampard, it's been a little bit better. If we're judging it on paper, you lost 5-0 in your last game. We won 4-0 in our last game. So, but it doesn't... Listen, it's not all about paper, is it? It's what happens on the grass.
Yeah, I mean, I can tell you there's £500 million on paper in that Everton side, and I can definitely assure you that £500 million is a complete waste of money when it comes to being on the grass. And I don't mean the good kind that makes you see things. It's a massive game for Everton for several reasons, albeit, Everton don't want to be relegated. Let's just put it out there. We are 1 point above the drop. Burnley, yes, have played 1 game more than us, or 2 games more than us. Leeds have played 3 games more than us. So it's in our hands. It is in our hands. But this is the start of a blockbuster week for Everton. Sunday, 2:00, we play a Wolves side that I think have got the 4th best defence in the league, the 4th best away record in the league. You can certainly say that the manager's done a phenomenal job. He started slowly. I think that's fair to say, first few games, but you could see what he was trying to do.
Yep.
And he's come good. I mean, he's really come good. So we then play Newcastle on Thursday. So to say this is an absolute must-win game for Everton and a must-win week, we need 6 points out of this week. But how are you set up?
We'll still go 5 at the back. Willy Bowley came in last night for the victory at home against Watford. He played his first game in a year, his first start in a year in the Premier League. You can say he played pretty well, but Watford didn't lay a glove on us, in fairness. I can't imagine if you play worse than Watford did last night, or whenever this comes out, Thursday night, if you play worse than Watford did, my word, you will get spanked on Sunday. We'll play 5 at the back. Johnny's back, so he'll play right back because Semedo will be out until probably towards the end of April. Ait-Nouri will go back into a left wing back. Well, it depends on Max Kilman. A lot of people don't know, obviously, Kilman's been one of our best defenders this year, and that's why Gareth Southgate's sniffing around him for England. He's half Ukrainian, and in the last few performances, it looks like maybe he hasn't really been there. So that's why Willy Bowley came in, I think, last night. So we might go Bowley again, Cody Sice. Standard midfield 2, Neves and Matinho. Front 3, I mean, take your pick from our attacking options. Silva, Jimenez, Podence, Swang, Neto, Chiquina. We've just got players. The front options aren't a problem at all. I'm confident of any of our starting lineup. To be fair, Trincao. We've got a Barcelona youngster who was meant to be one of the next big things, along with Pedri and players like that. He's like our 5th choice winger. So good luck.
Yeah, I mean, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. I mean, to be fair, Trincao, I signed him in my FIFA team, if that counts, because he's got really good. He's got a really good card, 92 pace, if I remember. He's a good player on there. Future stars, it's on. Yeah. So this is what worries me about Wolves, because you seem to play quite expansive, quick, aggressive football. There's the family. You play quite quick, aggressive football. You are very direct at times, not as in long ball, but I mean them cutting passes, the midfield, Martinho, Neves, very nice, intricate play. The fullbacks bomb forward. These are all issues that Everton have got. Literally every single one of those problems is what Everton have got. Wing backs, we can't defend. Through the centre of the park, Allen's been very slow and sluggish at times. He got criticised heavily after the Spurs game. So my worry is that you have the capability, albeit I don't think it'll be 5, but you do have the capability to inflict damage like Spurs did to Everton on Everton's on your counter attack, because Everton press so high, you'll find that gap, that space, and you'll get Trincao, Neto, whoever it may be, left and right wings, and deliver that ball into a Jimenez, into a Wang, into whoever plays through the middle.
I think, and I might be mistaken here, but I think the 4-0 win last night against Watford was the first time we've scored 4 goals since getting promoted 4 years ago. So it doesn't happen every week, and I'm sure you guys know that. Yeah, I mean, we're playing with a lot of confidence. In a way, we lost 3 games in a row where it really looked like we were pushing for 4th. We lost to West Ham, lost twice to Arsenal in the same week. And if there's any team you don't want to lose twice to in the same week, it's Arsenal. Do you know what I mean? So we really had to bounce back, and we did. I don't know where to start with Everton, and I was actually watching Frank Lampard's press conference before we came on here, and
he speaks well, doesn't he? Do you think he speaks well?
I was just about to say the opposite. It doesn't.
Oh, really?
Doesn't feel me. Well, I'm not his biggest fan anyway. As you can tell, I'm not going to come here just to win friends. I tell the truth.
Yeah.
I'm not his biggest fan. I think when I listen to other managers talk, like, you're not going to want to hear this, a Stevie G or even a Eddie Howe. I feel like there's more conviction in what they say. He said something like, and a lot of managers do say this. Pep says it and Klopp says it. A reporter asked him if he watched the games that were going on, like Leeds and Watford, etc., and Burnley, and he says, "Oh, I try not to." Blah, blah. What do you mean you try not to? You're a Premier League manager. You're going to be playing these teams this season. Isn't it better to watch the game to know? Yes, I know you can do all the analysing in the ground, at the training and whatever, but watch the games. Watch who you're. I don't know. It's just weird to me.
See, I think we get the opposite, and it's probably because we buy into him. We have to buy into him. We have to back him. So it could be how he's perceived on the outside in, because you never really know. You never really know how he's perceived.
Well, he speaks. Apparently, he's very intelligent in terms of football. He speaks well, but when you actually listen to what he says, I don't think he gives any kind of great insight. I don't know. Maybe I've got a slight agenda against him, maybe. But it was a wrong appointment, and I'm sure deep down, a lot of Everton fans would agree with that.
Really? Oh, bloody hell.
Well, he's got no experience at the bottom as a player, really. Not as a manager. I don't know.
It's such a difficult one, because for me, Lampard was the right man. And the reason why Lampard was the right man, and the reason why is because he does have a winning mentality. He's got that. And an issue with Everton over the last 6 years is we haven't had a winning mentality. We've had lots of money and we've spent it. We haven't spent it. We've spunked it. We've absolutely lashed it everywhere. Like going to a strip club with won us. Like literally, it's just everywhere. But what Lampard has done is he's enabled to give us maybe a little bit of direction. We've almost all of a sudden got a form of play, which is a high press, which is high intensity. Sometimes it's going to work, sometimes it's going to go wrong. It definitely went wrong v Spurs, and that, in my opinion, was on him. And I I said
I mean,
that. I said it was wrong by him. He set up wrong. But we want to see aggressive football at Goodison. And the only place we're going to stay up is Goodison. We've got the worst away record in the league, whereas you've got 27 points away. We've got 6.
Yeah, but I get that, but that's not what you need right now. You don't. You need to stay in the league. There's no point having a manager that wants to play aggressive. We know when he was at Chelsea. I mean, he beat when he came to the Molineux in his first season as Chelsea manager. They beat us I think it was 5-2. Tammy Abraham scored a hat trick, ripped us apart. That's what Lampard can do with young players, which of course you've got at Everton. But you don't need that aggressive. I mean, you need to stay in the league. There's no point getting Frank Lampard in right now, building for the next 3 or 4 years, because I think if you go down, you're going to struggle to try and come back up. I'm just going to keep talking anyway. But it's like it's like being a personal trainer, having a client who's 16 stone and saying, right, we're going to start by running 100 meters in 14 seconds. You can't do that. You've got to stay in the league and build from there, because if you go down, I think it'll take a while for you to come up, and Frank isn't going to be the man to do it. I'm seeing him play against Spurs when you lost 5-0. He's got Keane sitting on the halfway line. Does he not realise that Harry Kane is one of the best passers of a football in the world, and Son's got pace to burn compared to your back line? It's suicidal, just tactically inept. If you stay up this season, it'll be in spite of Frank Lampard, not because of him. I mean, if you were playing at home against Spurs, you wouldn't play on the halfway line. Liverpool wouldn't do that. So why would Everton? Okay, wrong. I shouldn't say Liverpool. Man City wouldn't do that. Man United wouldn't do that. I just find it tactically strange. What's wrong with just sitting on the edge of the box and saying, right, try and break us down? And you know what? If we lose 1-0, because guess what? Goal difference could come into it. Can't keep losing 5-0, 4-0. I just find it very strange.
No, fair enough. And by all means, that's cool. That's fine. I mean,
I'm not here to just dig your whole club out, by the way. I feel bad.
No. It's difficult because obviously I'm all about how people perceive Everton, and sometimes it's difficult for me to compute how people can see Everton, because obviously we all love our clubs, like we all adore our clubs, and that if that's the perception that Lampard's got up from the outside in, then it's concerning. Now, what I would say is, I think from an Everton fan perspective, I don't know many fans that are unhappy. I actually don't know any Everton fans that are unhappy, and I think at the minute we just need to back each other, because what there is also around Everton is a lot of unrest, like financials, the boards, fans are turning on the fans. I've seen fan channels disrespecting other fan channels, which is mad. But, when it's most important that we stick together, people aren't. And that's, to be quite frank, it's pissing me off, because everything seems to be being brought up or going wrong at the same time. And that's frustrating. So for me, look, what can I say? We're 17th in the league. We just need to win games of football. And I almost don't care who manages us. I almost don't care what teams we play or the players that play in the teams. And we will get on to that in a minute. But we just need to win games of football, because I think Leeds will win on Sunday against Norwich, and they kick off the same time as us. We're now, as a football club, looking at other fixtures, look at teams, and we're going up against a Wolves side that don't die. Let's be honest. They don't lie down. They're in every single game. So for Everton to get a result here, it's gonna take something massive. And I'm not saying we're not capable of it. We have seen Everton pull performances out. We played really well against Man City, only to get done by VAR. But this is a very different game, and this is a game that I think Lampard will have had to have learned lessons from Spurs very, very quickly, because I do see similarities between Spurs and Wolves in just the intricate style of play. Not necessarily the 5 at the back and all of that. And that's my worry with Wolves. How will you line up? I'm just going to shut that door again. How will you line up?
I don't think we'll change formation or personnel from the Watford victory. So Jose Sarr in goal, obviously. Johnny Otto right back or right wing back. I think he'll go with Bowley again, potentially. And if he doesn't, it's Kilman. So an upgrade, if anything. Cody, Seiss, Ait Nuri at left wing back. Matinho Neves as a sitting 2. And I think he'll probably go Hwang, Podence, and Jimenez. But again, like I said not too long ago, if he doesn't play Hwang, he can play Neto. The depth up there is very, very strong for us at this point in time. If the problem is for you, you haven't had, is it your last 2 away games, no shots on target?
Yeah.
And you against Wolves, a team that doesn't really concede chances, never mind goals. It's very, not many teams have 6-7 shots on target against Wolves. Even when we lose, they've really had to fight for that win. If we go to Goodison Park and Everton sit anywhere near the halfway line, I'll fear for you. I really will.
Yeah, I think as well, we are so different at home compared to away. But again, it's very easy for me to say that because proof's in the pudding. But the home games we played under Frank, we played Brentford in the cup. We won comfortably. We won 2-0. Good performance. Yeah. We played Leeds again, 3-0. Good performance. We played Boreham Wood, not a good performance, but we won. Yeah. We played Man City. We lost, but you could possibly argue we should have got a draw. But I don't think we've played anyone as dynamic as Wolves, who will probably come to Everton and allow us to press. Because what Man City did is Man City controlled the game, and it's a very different game. You guys will be more than happy for us to have the ball. You will just hit us when we're in your half. And that is my worry. That is absolutely my worry. I think if Everton are going to get a result in this game, we have to score early. And that's a tough enough job in its own. Like, it's a tough enough job to deal with that because you don't concede goals. I think Everton's lineup. So I'll just go through our team. I think Pickford will go in goal. I think it'll be Coleman at right back. Not that I agree with that. I think it'll be Mason Holgate and Ben Godfrey. With probably John Joe Kenny at left back. I think in terms of midfield, it'll be Alan, Decore and Donny van der Beek. And the front three will be Anthony Gordon, Damari Gray and Richarlison. That's what I suspect. Calvert-Lewin will be on the bench because this isn't the right game for Calvert-Lewin. It doesn't fit in the system at all. So that team, that front 6 on paper, should be nowhere near 17th in the league. I'm not saying it should be like 6th or anything, but it should be nowhere. It should be nowhere near 17th, and it should have scored more than 28 goals. So we've got to do something against Wolves that's different, and that is we've got to beat a very decent side because we haven't tended to.
Yeah, I think, is it Townsend, you're still top goal scorer, 6 goals, something like that?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
And I think he had 5 by October 3rd or something like that as well. When teams do well against Wolves this season, they've won the midfield battle. Brentford did it when they came down the Molineux earlier on in the season, beat us 2-0 quite comfortably. Palace last weekend absolutely battered us. Our worst performance since getting promoted 4 years ago, that was only a week ago. Bullied us in midfield. Gallagher, Zaha bullied us down the wings, but they won the midfield battle. If you can win the midfield battle, you can get to our 3 centre-backs quicker because Matinho and Neves haven't got the legs, but especially Matinho, he's up there, one of the best. He positions himself very well. But on the off day, especially if you are going to play a 3-man midfield, if you can bypass Neves and Matinho, because we've only got 2 midfielders, we haven't got that third one just sitting there, you can go to our 3 centre-backs pretty quickly. And then from there, it's whether the players with flair, like Gray, Richarlison and Townsend or whoever it may be, it's whether they can do the business. But if you can bypass Matinho and Neves, you'll have success because I know he loves to get forward. He's an attacking wing back. Johnny is a bit more of a defensive wing back, but you can easily get chances past us. I've got a funny feeling he might start Ali, especially as you're at home, because he got brought up in the press conference today, and he said he's fit. He said he can play. He's just waiting for the right moment. When's the right moment? When you've got 4 games left and you have to win 3? I don't know. I think we might see Ali start his first game tomorrow, which I think would be a big mistake. But saying that, he did win the penalty for Spurs against us at the start of the season, our second game. He played well against us that day, so maybe he likes playing against Wolves.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Just
Would you not want to
me.
see him start? Would you not want to see? You paid a lot of money for him. I mean, we'll talk about the actual signing of him another day or later because you needed a centre back and a holding midfielder more. Obviously, everyone knew that. I knew that, and I don't even support Everton. You go and buy Ali. You've got to play him, surely.
I mean, yeah. I mean, to be fair, you might not necessarily know the structure of the deal, but Ali was free, fundamentally.
I know it rises, doesn't it, to like 40 million, but
yeah, but at this moment in time, and look, this isn't a criticism of Dele Alli either, but I haven't seen enough of him when he's been on the pitch to warrant starting. And I don't mean that as in like I'm not prepared to give him a chance. I mean like I haven't felt like he's got the attitude to be in a battle, and that's exactly where Everton are. Donny van der Beek is there moaning, lifting his arms, getting aggressive with Everton players, telling them move, get into space for me. Dele Alli doesn't do that. Dele Alli is a bit more timid, and that isn't a criticism of him. He's more of what I would call a luxury player. When you're doing well, Dele Alli will do well. When your back is against the wall, I don't think Dele's the right player. But that's just my opinion. That's just
it's odd, isn't it? Because in his early days at Spurs, he was that aggressive, in-your-face player, wasn't he? He had that tenacity, that bite. You know, it's just gone.
And I want to see that. That's what I want to see. If he start, I would have no problem him starting over Donny van der Beek, for example. But I want to see it. I want to see that bite. I want to see the aggression. If he's going to only play one of them, say Decore, and play Van der Beek and also Dele again, I wouldn't mind that. I've got no issues with that. But I need to see us be prepared to try and break down your wing backs as they come at us, because that is where we're going to get exposed in this game. And I don't know if playing 2 attacking midfielders will work. And I don't think he'll put the legs in.
Is there any chance he might play a back 5?
So in this game, if I was the manager, I would probably play 3-4-3. And I probably would play Keane, Holgate and Godfrey. And I'd have Godfrey in the middle of the 2 of them because of the extra pace. I'd have John Joe Kenny at left back or Mikalenko. And I'd probably, if we played with the 5, I'd probably play Patterson over Coleman. I'd play Patterson over Coleman anyway, but I'm trying to give a team that I expect Lampard to pick. So I think we would. I think he would. He did it in his first game against Brentford, and it was great. But then we went to Newcastle, and he shit the bed. So the swings and roundabouts. It's a tough one.
So carry on.
It's just a tough one. I want to go into this game feeling like Everton are going to win. And it was really weird because I went into the Spurs game with Spurs being so up and down, going, we're going to get a point here. We're going to get a point here. We're playing all right. We're going to get a point here. And when we got hammered 5-0, it was the equivalent of having a pinprick in a balloon. Like, it just went bang. And I sat there and I did my match reaction after, and I sat there. As you know, I'm usually very emotional, very aggressive if I'm angry, and I was really concise. I was constructive, and I sat there and was very emotional. And I'm scared. I'm scared. I am genuinely scared about this game, because if we lose to you, and there's every single chance that we could lose to Newcastle on Thursday as well. They're playing really well. They went to Southampton unbeaten in 12 at home and won away. They're playing fantastic. Joe Linton has become the best central midfielder in the world. But I don't know how we beat teams anymore. I can't sit here and say to you, I would play like this from an Everton perspective, because we've played like it home and away, and we may have won at home and lost away. We may have tried to play a technical game of football, but I feel like the players' heads have gone, and as a result of that, I just feel like we just need to win, and I'm hoping it's like 1-0, and it's a scrappy game, it's a horrible game, and it's a game where we just get a result. But
yeah,
I don't know what to say. I don't know what to expect from Everton.
I mean, in years gone by, you would always say, even if Everton were to lose a game 3-0, for me growing up, if Everton lost 3-0 and you watch it on Match of the Day, you'd hear Alan Hansen and Shearer say, well, at least they put up fight. Now, it's not even. I mean, of the recent games that I've managed to watch Everton play in, maybe Gordon is the only one that looks like he's genuinely cared. I don't mean putting up a facade that they're trying, like waving your arms in the air like Van der Beek. I genuinely carries Gordon. So talking about playing expansive football, comes back to Lampard, sadly. You can talk about this and this and this and playing on the halfway line away at Spurs of all teams, and you just got to have that fight. I think Coleman obviously cares. Apparently, he's very big on social media, always trying to say the right things, but you can't blame him. He's been an incredible player for you guys over the years. I think he tries and cares, just not up to it physically. That's the biggest problem. I think you're right. I saw another Everton fan say that he thinks the players are resigned to the fact that they're going down and they're just thinking about, can I get out? I don't want to play in the Championship. I don't know if that's true. You and obviously everyone watching this will know your club better than me. But that's quite damning when you hear a popular Everton fan say that. He thinks that your squad is either ready for the Championship. Players like maybe Patterson, who obviously won't leave, and players like that. And the high-profile players are thinking, I wonder where I'm next season. That kills you as a fan, because we've had that at Wolves, and there's nothing worse when you know we were down by February, the year we went down last time, and it kills you, man. Going to the ground every week and you've paid your money and you know that they don't care. I'm not saying that's Everton. I'm just saying this is what I've heard. Do you get that feeling that they're resigned to it? It's like, well, if we stay up, fine. If we don't, I'm off ski.
I feel like, as I can only talk about my perception. I feel like Lampard's a good man motivator. Not that maybe he gets it right, but he's a good man motivator. I don't necessarily think that the players dwell on it.
I agree. Yeah.
But that doesn't stop the quality. And if the quality isn't there, then you're going to struggle every week, and eventually it's going to deflate you. And I do think it's affected certain players. I think Michael Keane is a shadow of himself. And this is no disrespect to Michael Keane, but he's never been very good, in my opinion. I've never massively rated him.
Carry on. I'll say after.
Seamus Coleman, he's done. Physically, he's done. So he can have all the care in the world, but if he's not up to it, he's not up to it. I don't feel like certain players have to be too bothered because they'll get moves, as you rightly say. You know, I think you could probably argue that DCL will probably leave in the summer irrespective. I think that's probably what will happen. I think Richarlison cares about the club.
I do.
But I don't think he has the ability to drag us out of it. And that's a pretty damning statement from apparently our golden boy, but that is me being honest. He
said he wants to be an Everton legend, didn't he, recently? He said he wants to be...
He said it a week ago. He said it a week ago, but the fact are he scored 5 goals in 20 games, and that's that's not enough to make you a legend. We can have, I could say right now that I am the best footballer in the world, and I'm going to leave 110% on that pitch on Goodison Park on Sunday. But you know for a fact, the moment you pass me the ball, I'm not going to get my foot low enough, quick enough to stop it going out of touch. And then we're going to get bummed on the counter, and we're going to go 1-0 down, and it'll be my fault. And that's because I haven't got the quality. There's a lot of players in that team who are not used to fighting. And this is what I made this comment the other week, and some people didn't quite understand it, but I said this group of Everton players expect to be between 8th and 12th. And if we were sitting there between 8th and 12th, we would pick up points away from home. We would win a game at home. We'd do 8th to 12th things. But because our players are backs against the walls, they haven't got the mentality to deal with that. And that affects the performances. It's a different mentality. This is why Burnley, I will put money on it, stay up.
I was just about to say the exact same thing.
And out of the teams that could go down, it's between us, Leeds, and Brentford. And even Brentford got a result last week. So if you're saying to me who's going to go down right now, I'm not saying Everton. I'm saying Leeds. But if we lose both of these games this week, then I would definitely say us. And I genuinely think we are finishing 17th and Leeds are finishing 18th, because losing at home like they did last night, I kind of feel like they sealed it for them. There's no new manager bounce there at all. Like, they are miles away from it. And we are better than Leeds. So it's in our hands. We've got 13 games, which is 3 more than Leeds have, 2 more than Burnley have. But we need to start winning games. And that mentality at that point, I think, will start coming back, and we will start being a little bit easier. It will get better. But while we are constantly looking at our shoulders and looking at other fixtures, we're going down because we haven't got the mentality.
That's when you know.
We need a win. We need a win. Like, it's so crucial we win this game. It's an understatement.
Yeah, I mean, I can't agree anymore. I think you're right in most of what you said there, if not all. I think Burnley stay up because they have that grit. Sean Dyche knows this end of the league. He knows, he probably knows the dinner lady's grandson's middle name. That's how well rooted he is at Burnley. And that counts for a lot. It really does count for a lot, more than people think. Signing the right kind of players, they lose Wood, they sign Weghorst. It makes sense.
What a player, by the way. What a player he is. I mean, he walk into the Everton team. I really rate him.
I think he starts quite a lot of games for Wolves when Jimenez isn't firing, as he hasn't been recently. Yeah, I'm not going to say I watched him a lot at Wolfsburg. I'd be lying to you, but he really does look like a player. The thing, I think you were right when you said Leeds and Everton finished 17th, 18th. I do think you're right, because I think Burnley leapfrog both of you, potentially. I think you're right as well that it's between you two and Brentford. Just got a funny feeling, Brentford. 27 points, I think they're on. No, 30 points, aren't they?
No, 27.
27.
It might even be 25.
No, I think it is 27. I think they're 4 points ahead of Leeds and.
Yeah, 27. Leeds are on 23. We're on 22. Burnley on 21.
That's right. I think 3 wins for Brentford and they're up. They'll stay up. So I think they'll be okay. I think Burnley will. The problem for you guys is that what Leeds have, and although it hasn't kicked in with that manager bounce yet, because he still wants to play that Red Bull formation of 4-2-2-2, they've still got key players to come back. Bamford and Phillips. Phillips could probably get into a top 6 team very comfortably. He's that good. Yeah. Bamford, could he? Is it? Everyone makes fun of him because he's the posh boy, blah, blah, blah. But he could score 5 goals in 7 games. Let's not pretend he can't. And they've still got those to come back. You don't have any players like that except for Mina. And if I'm not mistaken, isn't Mina if you're lucky, he comes back like the first week of May, last week of April?
Yeah, it's mid-April, I think. And the issue we've had with Mina is every time he's come back, he's got injured straight away anyway.
He's gone again. So they've got Bamford who can put the ball in the net. him and Rafinha have got such a good chemistry, and Phillips will just shore up a lot of the back line of the midfield. You don't have that. You thought you were going to have it with DCL when he came back. Hasn't quite worked out. Allen, he's very hit and miss. One day I think, bloody hell, him and Neves would be an unbelievable partnership for Wolves. And then I'll watch him another game and think, oh, no thanks. You've got quality. Decore, I don't know what's happened to him. You can answer it better than me. But well, on Sweet and Sour Soccer, we started a new segment at the start of the season, Team of the Week. I think we did it for the first 10 weeks of the season. I think he was in 7 of them. I think he holds the record. I think you came on a few times or you watched them. Decore was like a man possessed at the start of the season. Few goals, assists, just a workhorse. But I don't know what your bounce effect is. It wasn't Lampard. That remains to be seen whether it could come true. You don't have the effect of new players coming in. Could it be Ali? If you judge it by history, probably not. Michael Keane's one of the worst defenders I've ever seen. I was thinking earlier before I came on, I think he's Wolves' 7th choice centre-back. Little old Wolves. And I'm not just saying that as like a throwaway comment, like to wind up a fan. You know what people do? Oh, he's our 4th choice winger, blah, blah, blah. I genuinely believe Michael Keane is our 7th choice centre-back. And I can go through them.
Yeah, I honestly, go through them. Yeah, but I mean, I'm not going to argue. Not going to argue. He'd be my 6th choice centre-back at Everton. So, I mean, that's where we are.
But that's a damning indictment. And this is Everton compared to Wolves. We were massive in the 50s and 60s, and we are a big club, but we're not on Everton's level, especially over the last 20 or 30 years. And when your starting defenders don't get on the coach for Wolves, you've got problems, man. You've got problems.
So I'm going to ask you 2 last questions.
Go.
Do you think Everton will go down?
I knew that was going to be the first question. Can't it be the second question? What's the first one?
Do you think we'll win on Sunday? What do you think the score will be?
Oh, yeah, we'll do that one first. Score on Sunday. I think we've got a pretty even record, haven't we, since we've come back up? You've won a few times at home, same as the Molineux. We've got a few scalps at Goodison Park and at home earlier this season. You see, I can say 3-0 Everton and hope that your lovely, beautiful people at home, hopefully we get 200 subs on this video.
You've already destroyed the manager. I mean, if they're still watching at this point. You definitely didn't play it tactical.
I'm too honest for my own good. That's why I could never be a politician. I'm too honest for my own good. If I'm being completely honest, because of our away record, I'm a Wolves fan. I'm basing it on what we've seen in recent weeks and months. I don't think we'll blow you away. I'm probably going to say 2-0. I think we'll shut you out. I think we'll get a goal in the first half. I think the fans will still get behind the team because Everton fans are some of the best in the country. But I just think our defence will be too strong, especially with Johnny there now. And I think he'll just come at us. And the pace of Hwang and Neto, etc., will just get the second in the second half. I think we score in both halves. I'll go 2-0. If that comes true, then I'm going to open a betting tips page.
Okay. That's
what I'm going to say. What about you? What do you think? Deep down, give me a heart and a head prediction.
No, do you know what? Genuinely, and this is no bullshit. I'm gonna give you the exact score. No one will agree with this. You won't agree with this. None of my subscribers will agree with this. But I think Everton win 3-0. I know. And the reason why, and honestly, the reason why is I woke up on Tuesday morning after the Spurs game and I dreamt that Everton beat Wolves 3-0. So I'm going with it. And that's the only reason. Okay. Do I think we're capable of getting our hearts handed to us? Absolutely. Do I think we're capable of getting a point? Absolutely.
Yeah.
For some reason, I think we'll win 3-0, and I don't know why. And I can't sit here and tell you how we're going to do it either.
Yeah.
I'm going
I
with it.
mean, to be fair, I like the courage you've had to come on and announce that in front of thousands of people, and that's what I love about you. I mean, if you have dreamt it, then and it does
It
come
won't
into
happen.
fruition.
Imagine.
If it comes to fruition, then I'm going to be asking you every morning for the rest of our lives, what did you dream about last night? Who won the Masters? Who won Wimbledon? What I'm going to be asking.
we know my predictions aren't very good from the predictions game at the start of the season. We already know that.
Yeah, of course. What am I worried about? I've just got to go back to the prediction league.
Yeah. Right, and the last question was, do you think Everton will stay up? And if you do, where will we finish? If not, you just give me a number. Where do we finish between 1 and 20? Bearing in mind, I think the highest we can finish is 5th logistically now.
Is that you can still finish 5th? No.
Yeah. If every team loses, like we win every game.
Where will Everton get relegated? Channel integrity. Do it for the subs.
Just give me honesty. Everyone on the channel will respect that.
Hello? I've got to go. Honestly, you are very lucky. I just think Leeds are that little bit worse. I really do. I don't think many Leeds players get in your team. I think that's why you'll stay up. Yeah. But you need the points quickly. If I'm not mistaken, your last 5 games go West Ham, Liverpool, Chelsea, Brentford, Arsenal in that order. That's bad.
Yeah, I think that roughly is the order. Yeah. So
and you still got to play Leicester twice because you were meant to play Leicester in January, but that got rearranged. You haven't played them all this season, have you?
Yeah, that's also correct.
And you've got you want to hope you lose to Palace in the cup. Just get it out of the way.
Well, we've got Burnley away.
Yeah.
But let's go through the points. Let's just go through our fixtures. You tell me. Just give me a number. Just give me a number. Write these down. Give me or just guess.
Do you know what? I was hoping to do this with you. I've got all the fixtures, and I was going to ask you, and then we'll do how. I tell you what. Have you got your phone there?
Yeah.
Put it away. I'm going to do it with you now. Okay. Ready?
Okay.
So, how many points are you on? 23.
22.
Oh, okay, 22. Okay, so how many points on Wolves? You've said 3 already.
3.
Okay, 3. Newcastle.
1.
Watford. Away.
3.
I love how you've won 2 games since September, but now you've gone win, draw, win.
No, wait, it gets worse in a minute, I promise.
Well, you're safe. You've got 7 points on 3 games. West Ham away.
Defeat.
Okay, 0. United at home.
0.
Okay. Liverpool away. That's 0.
0.
Palace at home in the league.
We struggled against Palace because of their pace. 1.
Okay. You've got Leicester home and away, so we'll do both.
3.
Okay. Chelsea at home.
Point. We tend to play well against Chelsea.
Yeah, you actually do, to be fair, yeah. Arsenal away.
0.
Burnley away.
Point.
Brentford at home.
3.
I don't think Everton fans have got much to worry about, even if half of this is true. So Wolves 3, 6, 7, 8, 11, 12, 13, 16. You on 22, and that puts you on 38.
Which is I said we'd finish on 36. So I'm not far off with my.
Not far. I think 38 points. You probably finish around 15th. I'm not going to lie.
Well, let's hope that's true. Let's hope we're right.
Yeah.
Because why don't you go back through that now and tell me how many points you think we're going to get?
Okay. You want to add mine up as well, like I did with you?
Yeah.
Wolves, none. Watford away. I think you can beat Watford away. Roy's not really doing it. Newcastle at home. No, I'm gonna give it Newcastle. None. West Ham away. None. United at home. I've got a funny feeling there. I think you beat them. Liverpool none. Palace at home. I'll give you that one. I'll join you with Leicester 3. Chelsea none. Arsenal none. Brentford 3. Burnley 1. So I've given you 3,
13.
6, 9, 12. 3, 6, 9. I've given you exactly the same points that you gave yourself.
There you go. This is why this is why this week is so crucial, because if we get 6 points out of this week, I think we're staying up. If we get 0 points out of this week, we're going down. And that is literally how I say it. Like, that's it. Come Friday morning, if you message me on Friday morning saying, Mike, you've had 0 points this week, I will reply first thing saying we're getting relegated. Job done. That's it. Finished. Club's done. We're liquidated. Fucking administration, the works, we're gone.
The easiest way to look at it for Everton is this. You're on 22 points. You need 35 to stay up, in my opinion. I think 35, you're safe. You got 13 games left in the league. You need a point a game. Just a point a game. Just get
8 of these games are at home. 8 of them.
That's a big, big deal as well. Yeah. You should be getting at least 10 points from those 8 home games, and the 5 away. Pick up 5, 6 points. You're laughing.
Pick up anything, be shit away.
But you need them before those last 5, before you play Leicester, Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal.
Brentford.
You need points before then. Really bad.
Oh, there you go. Well, James, thank you ever so much for coming on the Blue Boys Network as always.
My pleasure.
It's been an eye opener really, because I didn't realise Lampard was perceived as because you're not the only person as well. That's what I'm saying. I'm not digging you out. You're not the only person. Like a few people have said they don't rate Lampard and they don't think highly of him.
With the right team, yes, it's not the right time for Everton. Do you know what you should have done? Just get in Big Sam and say, listen, if you keep us up, we'll give you 20 million. Because guess what? If you go down, you lose 100 million. Big Sam will sit on the edge of the box, play shithouse football. He'll make the away fans want to slit their wrists. But you'll come away with a 1-0 win because it comes off the end of Richarlison's left ball. Left bollock. That's what will happen. That's what Big Sam can do.
Fucking hell, testicle shots now. It's fucking brilliant.
If he gets 3 points, who cares?
No, it's true. Right, guys, look, I'm leaving it there. James, thanks ever so much for coming on. I plugged the channel at the start, but make sure you go and like, subscribe, and go and watch the watch along Sweet and Sour Soccer. I'm hoping you're going to see plenty of misery on James's channel on Sunday. Heartbreak, emotion, and that's just because Wolves have been dipped all over the place at Goodison. However, look, realistically, it's a very, very, very tough game. Let's not sugarcoat it. It is, which is why I've gone for 3-0 Everton. And anything to say, Jan?
If that comes true, if you win 3-0, I will do a public apology to Frank Lampard on your channel.
Brilliant. Well, we'll get that noted for the start of next video. Guys, it's been a pleasure as always. Peace.